People think being poor is only about having little money. But the brutal truth is, poverty often starts in the mind long before it appears in the bank account. Two people can live in the same city, go to the same school, and face the same struggles. Yet one builds wealth while the other stays trapped in survival forever. Why? Because mindset creates direction, and direction creates destiny. The rich mindset thinks about the future. The poor mindset only thinks about today. That difference changes everything. Most people spend money to feel good for a moment. Rich-minded people sacrifice temporary pleasure to build permanent freedom. One person buys things they cannot afford just to impress strangers online. Another person invests in skills, businesses, knowledge, and opportunities that can change their entire future. One mindset chases attention. The other chases ownership. And ownership is powerful. Poor-minded people often believe success is luck. They look at wealthy people and say things like, "He got lucky. She was born rich. They had connections." Sometimes that may be true, but many successful people started with absolutely nothing except vision, discipline, and relentless focus. The real difference is not starting position. The real difference is daily decisions. Every single day, people choose between comfort and growth. Most choose comfort. They wake up late, waste hours scrolling social media, complain about life, blame the economy, blame successful people, blame bad luck. But blame never changes anything. Rich-minded people think differently. Instead of asking, "Why is life unfair?" they ask, "What can I do to improve my situation?" That question alone can transform a life. Because successful people understand one important truth. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your boss, not the government, not your friends, not society. Your future is your responsibility. That truth sounds harsh, but it's actually empowering. Because once you stop blaming others, you take your power back. And powerful people create change. The poor mindset waits for motivation. The rich mindset builds discipline. That's why some people stay stuck forever. They only work hard when they feel inspired. But motivation disappears quickly. Discipline is what keeps successful people moving when life gets difficult. And life will get difficult. There will be failures, rejections, stress, lonely nights, moments when nobody believes in you. Poor-minded people quit during those moments. Rich-minded people grow through them because they understand pressure creates strength. A diamond is formed under pressure. So is a successful person. The rich mindset also understands the value of time. Poor-minded people waste time like it's unlimited. They spend hours watching other people succeed online, while doing nothing to improve their own lives. Hours become days. Days become years. And eventually regret appears. Rich-minded people protect their time aggressively. They read books, learn skills, build businesses, exercise, network with ambitious people, focus on long-term goals, because they know time is more valuable than money. Money can return after being lost. Time never returns. That's why successful people are careful about who they spend time with. Environment matters. If you surround yourself with lazy people, laziness becomes normal. If you surround yourself with negative people, excuses become normal. But when you spend time around disciplined, focused, ambitious people, your standards begin to rise, and standards shape your life. Poor-minded people often settle for average because average feels safe. They avoid risks, avoid challenges, and avoid discomfort. But comfort is dangerous. Comfort keeps people trapped in routines they secretly hate. The rich mindset embraces discomfort because growth only happens outside comfort zones. Learning new skills is uncomfortable. Starting a business is uncomfortable. Investing money is uncomfortable. Taking responsibility is uncomfortable. But staying broke is uncomfortable too. The difference is simple. Successful people choose a discomfort that leads to growth instead of the comfort that leads to regret. And regret is painful. Many people wake up years later realizing they wasted their potential chasing distractions instead of goals. That's happening everywhere today. Phones are controlling attention. Entertainment is replacing ambition. Millions of people know everything about celebrities, but almost nothing about building wealth, discipline, or financial freedom. The poor mindset consumes endlessly. The rich mindset creates endlessly. Creators build futures. Consumers fund them. That's why wealthy people focus heavily on self-education. School teaches people how to work for money. Rich-minded people learn how to make money work for them. They study investing, business, communication, leadership, marketing, financial intelligence, because knowledge increases value. And the more value you provide to the world, the more opportunities you attract. Poor-minded people ask, how much does this cost? Rich-minded people ask, how much value can this create in my future? That single shift changes financial destiny. The truth is, wealth is not only built through income, it's built through thinking. Your habits create your actions. Your actions create your results. And your results create your life. So if you want a different future, you cannot keep thinking like the person you used to be. You must raise your standards. Raise your discipline. Raise your focus. Because before someone becomes rich financially, they first become rich mentally. And once your mindset changes, your entire life begins to move in a different direction. Most people think rich people are smarter. That's not always true. Many wealthy people are average in intelligence, but extraordinary in discipline, consistency, and decision-making. Meanwhile, millions of talented people stay broke because they never learn how to control themselves. That's the hidden difference nobody talks about. The poor mindset is emotional. The rich mindset is strategic. Poor-minded people make decisions based on feelings. If they feel motivated, they work hard. If they feel tired, they quit. If life gets difficult, they give up. Rich-minded people don't depend on emotions. They depend on systems. They work even when they don't feel like it. They save even when they want to spend. They stay focused even when distractions are everywhere. Because they understand something powerful. Your feelings will change every day. Your goals should not. That's why discipline beats motivation every single time. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. And in today's world, discipline has become rare. Most people are addicted to instant gratification. They want fast money, fast success, fast results. Social media has trained people to expect everything immediately. 10-second videos, one-day success stories, overnight millionaire fantasies. But real success is slow. Nobody sees the lonely nights. Nobody sees the sacrifices. Nobody sees the years of failure behind success. They only see the final result. That's why people underestimate what it takes to win. The rich mindset understand the long game. They are willing to work for years quietly because they know freedom is worth it. Poor-minded people want to look successful immediately. Rich-minded people are willing to look broke temporarily while building real wealth. That's a massive difference. One person buys flashy things to impress others. Another person quietly invests in skills, businesses, and opportunities. One chases attention. The other chases ownership. And ownership changes everything. Poor-minded people rent their lifestyle forever. Rich-minded people build assets that pay them forever. Think about it. The average person spends their entire life trading time for money. They work hour after hour, paycheck after paycheck, hoping someday life will improve. But wealthy people think differently. They ask, how do I create income that continues even when I'm not working? That's why they build businesses. That's why they invest. That's why they create systems. Because they understand freedom comes from leverage. And leverage is one of the biggest secrets of wealth. Poor-minded people rely only on hard work. Rich-minded people combine hard work with smart strategy. Hard work matters. But hard work without direction can trap you forever. You can dig a hole all day and still stay in the same place. Being busy is not the same as being productive. And sadly, many people stay busy just to avoid facing reality. They stay distracted because silence forces them to confront uncomfortable truths about their life. The rich mindset faces reality directly. If they are broke, they admit it. If they lack skills, they learn. If they fail, they adjust. Poor-minded people do the opposite. They blame the economy, blame their childhood, blame rich people, blame bad luck. But blame changes nothing. Accountability changes everything. The moment you take responsibility for your life, you become dangerous in the best way possible. Because now your future is no longer controlled by excuses. And excuses are one of the biggest wealth killers on earth. Excuses sound harmless at first. I'm too young. I'm too old. I don't have connections. I don't have enough money. I'll start later. But years pass quickly, and one day later becomes never. That's why the rich mindset values urgency, not panic, not desperation. Urgency. They understand time is limited. Every year you delay improving yourself is a year you'll never get back. Every year wasted in fear pushes your dreams further away. That realization should wake you up, because life rewards action, not intention. The cemetery is full of people who had dreams. Dreams alone mean nothing without execution, and execution requires courage. The poor mindset fears failure so much that it avoids trying. The rich mindset understands failure is part of growth. Every successful entrepreneur has failed. Every successful creator has been criticized. Every successful investor has lost money before making money. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. But poor-minded people take failure personally. One rejection destroys their confidence. One mistake makes them quit. One bad moment becomes an excuse to stop. Rich-minded people see failure differently. They treat failure like feedback. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask, "What is this teaching me?" That mindset creates resilience. And resilience is more important than talent, because talented people often quit when things become hard. Resilient people keep moving no matter what. That's why average people with unstoppable discipline often outperform gifted people with weak habits. Success is less about talent and more about endurance. Can you keep going when nobody supports you? Can you stay focused when results are slow? Can you believe in yourself before the world believes in you? Most people cannot. That's why most people remain average. The rich mindset also understands the power of learning. Poor-minded people think education ends after school. Rich-minded people become lifelong students. They read books, study successful people, learn valuable skills, adapt to change, because the world rewards value. The more problems you can solve, the more valuable you become, and valuable people get paid. That's why wealthy people invest heavily in knowledge. A poor-minded person sees books as boring. A rich-minded person sees books as shortcuts. One mindset consumes entertainment all day. The other consumes information that changes their future. And over time, those small daily choices create massive differences in life. Your future is being built right now by what you repeatedly do every day. Most people spend their entire lives chasing money without realizing the real battle is happening inside their mind. Because if a person has a poor mindset, even $1 million can disappear quickly. But if a person has a wealthy mindset, they can lose everything and build it back again. That's the difference. Money without discipline is temporary. Money without knowledge is dangerous. Money without the right mindset eventually disappears. And history proves this again and again. There are lottery winners who became broke within years. Famous athletes who earned millions and lost everything. Celebrities who look successful publicly while drowning financially in private. Why? Because income does not automatically create wealth. Mindset does. The poor mindset focuses on earning more. The rich mindset focuses on becoming more, becoming smarter, becoming stronger, becoming more disciplined, becoming more valuable. Because when you improve yourself, your income eventually follows. That's why self-development is one of the greatest investments you can ever make. Most people want external success without internal growth. They want confidence without facing fear. They want money without learning skills. They want freedom without responsibility. But life does not work like that. Every level of success demands a new version of you. The habits that keep someone poor are usually invisible at first. Small decisions repeated daily slowly shape a person's future. Sleeping too much, wasting time online, avoiding responsibility, spending emotionally, quitting too early. These habits may feel harmless today, but over years they quietly destroy potential. Meanwhile, wealthy habits also start small, reading 10 pages a day, learning a skill consistently, saving money regularly, networking with ambitious people, improving physical and mental health. Small actions repeated consistently create massive transformation. That's why successful people respect routines. Poor-minded people chase excitement. Rich-minded people master consistency. And consistency is powerful because it works even when motivation disappears. Anyone can work hard for one day. Few people can stay disciplined for years. That's why long-term focus is a superpower now. We live in a distracted world where everyone wants attention, entertainment, and instant pleasure. Phones are controlling people's minds. Notifications interrupt focus every few minutes. Social media constantly compares people's lives, and comparison is dangerous. Poor-minded people compare lifestyles. Rich-minded people compare progress. One person gets jealous seeing someone drive a luxury car. Another person studies how that person built success in the first place. That's the mindset shift. Jealousy keeps people bitter. Curiosity helps people grow. The rich mindset learns from successful people instead of hating them, because success leaves clues. Every successful person follows patterns: discipline, patience, risk-taking, emotional control, and long-term thinking. Poor-minded people often ignore these lessons because they want shortcuts. But shortcuts usually create short-term results. Real wealth takes time. A tree does not grow overnight. Neither does success. And one of the biggest differences between rich and poor thinking is emotional control. Poor-minded people let emotions control decisions. If they are stressed, they spend money. If they are angry, they quit. If they are uncomfortable, they escape into distractions. Rich-minded people learn emotional discipline. They stay calm during pressure. They think before reacting. They make decisions based on logic, not temporary feelings. That's why emotional intelligence is a hidden form of wealth. The ability to stay focused while others panic is extremely valuable, especially during hard times, because tough moments reveal true mindset. When life becomes difficult, poor-minded people collapse mentally. They see obstacles as proof that success is impossible. Rich-minded people see obstacles differently. They understand pressure creates growth. Diamonds are created under pressure. Strong people are created through struggle. That doesn't mean successful people never feel fear or stress. They do. The difference is they refuse to let emotions control their future. And that mentality creates strength most people never develop. Another brutal truth is this: nobody cares about your excuses as much as you do. The world rewards results. That may sound harsh, but it's empowering too, because it means your future is still in your hands. You can start changing today. Not next year, not next month. Today, you can decide to become more disciplined. You can decide to learn valuable skills. You can decide to stop wasting time. You can decide to take ownership of your life. And those decisions may look small in the beginning, but they completely change your future over time. Because success is rarely one giant moment. It's hundreds of small decisions made correctly over and over again. The rich mindset understands this deeply. That's why wealthy people focus less on luck and more on habits. They know habits shape identity. Identity shapes actions. And actions shape destiny. So if you truly want a different life, stop waiting for motivation, luck, or permission. Build the mindset first. Because once your thinking changes, your standards rise. When your standards rise, your actions improve. And when your actions improve, your entire life begins to transform. At the end of the day, the battle between rich and poor mindset is not really about money. It's about choices. The choices you make every morning. The habits you repeat every day. The standards you accept for your life. Because your future is being created right now, even in moments that seem small and unimportant. Every hour wasted matters. Every excuse matters. Every disciplined action matters. Life changes slowly before it changes dramatically. That's why most people quit too early. They don't see immediate results, so they assume nothing is happening. But success is often invisible in the beginning, just like a seed growing underground. Progress happens long before people notice it. The rich mindset understands patience. Poor-minded people want quick rewards. Rich-minded people build long-term freedom. And freedom should be the goal, not just money. Freedom. Freedom to control your time. freedom to make choices, freedom to live without constant financial stress, freedom to wake up without fear of bills, debt, or survival. That kind of freedom requires sacrifice, and sacrifice is where most people fail. They want success without giving anything up, but every achievement demands a price. You may need to sacrifice sleep. You may need to sacrifice comfort. You may need to sacrifice toxic friendships, distractions, and old habits, because your old lifestyle cannot produce a new future. If you continue thinking the same way, acting the same way, and spending time the same way, your life will likely stay the same too. That truth is painful for many people because it removes excuses, but it also gives power. Because if your actions created your current situation, then new actions can create a better future. That means your story is not finished. No matter how broke you are right now, no matter how many mistakes you've made, no matter how many times life knocked you down, you can still rebuild. Many successful people started with nothing. Some failed businesses multiple times. Some faced rejection for years. Some were doubted by everyone around them, but they kept going. And that's what separates successful people from average people more than anything else. Persistence. Average people stop when things get difficult. Winners continue even when progress feels slow, because they understand that temporary pain can create permanent rewards. The poor mindset focuses on what is lost. The rich mindset focuses on what is possible. One mindset sees barriers. The other sees opportunities. And opportunities are everywhere for people willing to work, learn, adapt, and stay consistent. The world is changing faster than ever before. New skills, businesses, technologies, and opportunities are being created every single day. But only people with the right mindset are prepared to take advantage of them. That's why your mind is your greatest asset. If you master your mind, you can change your finances. If you master your habits, you can change your future. If you master your discipline, you can change your entire life. But nobody can do it for you. Nobody can wake up early for you. Nobody can study for you. Nobody can stay focused for you. Nobody can build your dreams except you. That responsibility scares weak people, but it empowers strong people. Because once you realize your future is in your hands, you stop waiting for permission to become great. You stop blaming your past. You stop depending on luck. You stop acting like a victim, and you start building. Slowly, patiently, relentlessly. That is the rich mindset. It's not about acting superior. It's not about showing off. It's about growth, ownership, discipline, and vision. The brutal truth is this. Most people will stay average because average feels safe. But if you are willing to think differently, work differently, and live differently, your future can become completely different too. Everything changes the moment you stop asking, why is life unfair? And start asking, what can I do to improve my situation? That question alone can transform your life. Because the road to wealth, freedom, and success always begins with one thing, a different mindset.